What's up, everybody? What's going on today on the Lead From Here podcast? We are going to talk about the fact that words matter. The fact that words matter is something that gets lost on some people, especially newer to leading in difficult conversations and conversations that have a lot of impact. And even if it's not a difficult conversation, but it's conversations that mean a lot to a scenario or people, or just, the conversation is important about anything, really. So ultimately, what does that mean? Words matter. Well, at the end of the day, everything we say, especially in the context of leadership, we're all responsible for the words of our voice. Like, that is 100%. You will never be able to escape it, especially as you get the title. If you say the wrong thing, people are going to hold you to that. And that's something that you may feel is not fair, but at the end of the day, it's your job, especially once you have the title. But really, at any point when you're doing anything impactful to a team or a group of people, you're going to be held accountable for your words. So if you're going to be held accountable, you need to be really thoughtful in the words you choose. It's important to practice. It's important to, do role playing if you can get that with somebody that you trust or your leader, to be able to walk through what exactly you're gonna say. Like, you have to do that. Like, it seems silly and it feels awkward in the moment, but I promise, even just saying it out loud, even if you can't do it with the person, look yourself in the mirror and say it to yourself in the mirror. Saying the words the way you want to say it a few times over will help you get your words across. Because if you're in a difficult conversation and you're using words that are vague, or you're sugarcoating it, or you're basically making it like it's a big deal, but it's not that big of a deal, like, you ultimately will put that person in a bad situation where they're like, can't really tell if it's really that urgent. And if they're not comfortable calling you on that, you're putting yourself in a situation where it's like, hey, I'm the leader and I'm supposed to be telling you you're not doing a good job, or you need to do better here as an employee. If you're not being totally clear in communication, you're not using the right words, you're not being direct enough, and you're kind of letting that vague connotation come in, you're going to put them in a bad situation, which ultimately puts you in a bad situation. Because if you tell your boss, hey, I had this conversation, they understand the situation, and then they happen to do a skip level, or they talk to HR and they're like, I didn't realize it was that big of a deal. Like, we talked about it, but he didn't really say like I was going to lose my job, or I was going to get a warning, or it was anything official. It just kind of felt like a conversation, something I didn't turn around, and I'm trying to work on that. But if it's official, maybe I should be a little more worried. And it can ultimately spiral into something that you really don't want it to spiral into. And if you're accountable to the words of your voice and you're practicing, and you're gonna make mistakes. Like, I've said things as a leader that I wish I could take back. You can't. So if you do that, you have to own it. So if you're in a difficult conversation and you sugarcoat it and you walk away and you feel like, man, I think I blew that, I think I made it a little too soft or a little too vague, just own it. Own it with the person that you were talking to, own it with your leader, and just say, hey, I tried, I used the wrong words, I think I softened it too much. I will follow up with them and say, hey, I'm not sure I was perfectly clear, so I want to make sure we understand this is a big deal, and it could impact your ability to continue to work here. And just be honest with them. Say, I was trying to, make you feel better, and I just didn't do a good job of being direct because I was too worried about making you not feel bad. But I also don't want you to be in a position where you can't improve because you don't understand how important this is. So that's it. I mean, I don't want to go too much deeper into this, but ultimately, really be thoughtful in what you say. I mean, this goes for real life too. Like, this isn't just at your work. Like, words matter. The way you deliver things matter. And especially in relationships, you have to be thoughtful in that. And it's just something to impart. I know this is a leadership channel, but just as a person, be thoughtful in the words you choose as well. I hope this was helpful. If you want to dive more into this, or have more questions, or want to, throw some real world scenarios at me, hit me up at jason@leadfromhere.co. And yeah, all the social media channels are fine too. And if you like what you're hearing, please subscribe, follow, whatever the platform has that allows you to get notifications about the stuff coming out. I would appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Take care of yourselves. Take care of the people in your charge. See you guys.